What's up, guys? My name is Preston from Autonetics, and I have done something crazy. Something that you guys would probably say was the worst decision I ever made. And that's okay. I'm totally okay with that. But what I did was got rid of my F350 and I bought an electric vehicle. I traded it in for F150 Lightning. And it got hate online. I posted a short about it. It got hate and I loved it. I'm totally good with that. You know, bad promo is just as good as any promo, right? So I bought my F-150 Lightning because, okay, let's start this story beginning. I did not go into the dealership looking to buy an F-150 Lightning. I started my search out just inquiring about deals that were going on because I had been on Reddit, funny enough, looking around, and I saw that people were talking about lease deals, finance deals that were going on in the market. I originally was looking at Hyundai because I love the way that Hyundais look, the new updated SUVs. And then I started looking at Kia because I like the way Kia SUVs look. And then I was like, all right, so let me look at GM, let me look at Ford, let me look at Dodge, and let's see what everybody got. So Dodge don't have any electric SUVs out. They got an electric truck that's coming, but it's not out, the Ram Charger. So that was, Ram was knocked off the list. I know that Ram is not Dodge, I do know that. Dodge don't have a Durango coming anytime soon that I know of. So there goes Stellantis products out the door. I can't get a Jeep Wrangler. I can't fit in those. Then I was like, okay, I'm interested in the Escalade EV, but they're not out yet. Okay. So I was like, okay, well, let's go look at a Mach-E and see what it is. So I was dead set on getting me a Mach-E, fully decked out, the GT version. I wanted selfless or autonomous driving. That was my big thing, and that's the reason I wanted to go look at vehicles. I said, whatever I get is gonna be autonomous driving. And it didn't have to be electric at the time. So I got the Ford, looked at the Mustang, and I loved it. And then the guy was like, well, you got a truck and you got a bed. You bought a truck for a reason. And I was like, you know, I'm okay with giving that up. He was like, oh, are you really okay with giving that up? So he started making me think. So I got in the Mach-E, and I took a drive in the Mach-E, and I loved the Blue Cruise, which is their autonomous driving. And I fell in love with it, but then he said it's $800 a year. And I was like, $800 a year to drive, to like let the vehicle drive? It didn't resonate with me, right? Like, I'm a diesel petrol guy, and now you're telling me I gotta pay for my vehicle to drive? I gotta pay for features? That just seemed kind of basic to me. And maybe I just haven't been in tune with what's going on with subscription services, because I know BMW is nickel and diming people now on wanting to charge people for like heated and cooled seats down the road. So he asked me, he said, would you, because you can only use Blue Cruise on the highway, you can't use it on the street like you can a Tesla and some of the other vehicles, BMW. And I was like, so you telling me I'm gonna pay $800 for something I can only use on the highway? And I was like, no, it don't make sense. So I ended up getting a Ford Lightning. And I leased the Ford Lightning because they had 0% financing for 72 years, or the other option was a 1% interest rate to lease it. I leased it because here's the thing. Here's what I've learned. Now, I didn't know anything about EVs. I've owned this truck for 3 weeks. I didn't know anything about EVs. And this is what I learned. You don't buy an EV outright, because after you own it for a certain amount of time, if you have battery issues, then the battery issue is gonna be like 10 grand or more to get it fixed. And I'm like, do I really wanna do that? So I ended up leasing my vehicle because, one, here's why I leased it. You wanna make sure that you have good credit. You wanna make sure that your credit is on point when you try to go get anything that you want. It's as simple as that. I preached that so many times. Don't just go buy vehicles with bad credit, because you'll get high interest rates and they will rape you at the dealership with all kind of add-ons and stuff just to take advantage of you. Okay, let's get that out of the way. So I went there and I leased it. I got a 1% interest rate, and paperwork is around here somewhere. I can show you guys. I got a 1% interest rate, and I got it for 3 years. But what that did was it cleared my negative equity from my truck. It also gave me the ability to see if an EV is something that I actually want to have down the road. I got this thing for 3 years. It also gave me the ability to see if range anxiety is a real thing. And so far, I've run into one instance where I almost ran out of battery, and that was my very first time taking a ride on the highway. And also it gave me the ability to completely, it gave me the ability to have no negative equity. So I'm wiping my negative equity away. I am now going to have this vehicle for 3 years. I get to try it out for 3 years. And if I want it, I'll buy it. But also the biggest thing for me was no maintenance. Only thing I have is tires and blinker fluid. Gosh, there's no such thing as blinker fluid. Is wiper fluid. So tires and wiper fluid. That's the only thing I have. That's my only maintenance. Diesel, I was paying around $70 to $90 a week, literally, for my diesel fuel because I was commuting, taking the kids to school. In a F350, it was lifted 12 inches off the ground. And that was a suspension lift on 37-inch tires. It was killing me. And insurance actually went down when I bought this, which is still blowing my mind how I'm paying $60 less a month for my F150 Lightning. And then if the battery shits itself, I don't have to worry about that cost. If anything happened in 3 years, because I have a 3-year bumper to bumper 60,000 mile warranty, which will be under my lease amount, and then the vehicle is, I only leased it for 3 years, it's covered by the dealership. So it's just a win-win all the way around the way. So this is why I ended up buying it. So here's what I've learned since buying an EV that no one told me, and these are the things that you're gonna experience when you purchase an EV if you are looking for an EV and you're just like me, you don't know shit about these EVs. This is what you're gonna experience. One, when you drive these things down the highway and you are wide open throttle, or not even wide open throttle, but when you're driving down the highway, just driving down the highway, if you're going over 70, between 70 and 75 seems to be the okay point, but anything above 75, you're doing double the kilowatts. And kilowatts is like miles per, like the gas, like in a gas vehicle. I've learned this. So keep in mind, I'm not one of these guys you'll log on to online and where they're throwing terminology out at you because they studied this stuff. I'm a regular guy like you, like regular guy. I didn't know anything about this. A kilowatt is what MPG is measured by and what your charge rate is measured by. And I drove down the highway and I almost ran out of juice. I got home with 10% battery and I was sweating bullets. And I thought that I had kidney stones because I felt crappy and I was scared. I had this gut feeling that I was just about to be pushing this thing down the highway. So don't do that. Don't speed down the highway in an EV because it will kill your battery. You will, like, it'll tell you have 100 miles until till the battery is dead, and it'll actually be 50 because you're speeding. Didn't know that. It's okay to run their air conditioner. I hear people online saying the air conditioner kill your battery. It makes pretty much no difference. And on the Ford Lightning, they tell you what's using what entertainment, climate, outside temperature, and something else, and drive route. It'll tell you what's using what power. And it's always the outside climate and my drive route that kills the most battery. I had a radio on blast. It's never over like 3% inside my vehicle for whatever that would be. I don't even know what would be the percentage for my radio, to be honest with you. I'm still learning this thing. I've only had it 3 weeks. Okay, something else that I learned is that you can't plug up at every station. They make adapters for these F-150s, but the Tesla adapter is like $200 and something, maybe even more than that now. And you have to buy that adapter to go to your Ford Lightning adapter to be able to plug up into any EV station. I went to charge at a level 3, so you got level 1, level 2, and level 3 charges. Level 1 they're gonna send home with you. It is the worst thing in the world. It's like trying to charge your vehicle with a cell phone charger. I kid you not. It takes like almost 48 hours to fully charge your vehicle from freaking 10%. It's the worst. Level 2, and then level 1 is only like 6 kilowatts. It's gonna be funneling into your vehicle. So level 2, I got that installed. If you're in the South Carolina, North Carolina area, there is a program with Duke Power where they reimburse you for a level 2 EV install. So I got that, and that's as of the time of this video. I don't know if you're watching this months or years down the road, it might not pertain to you anymore. So I got my level 2 installed, and my charging at night went up to about 18 kilowatts, which is then only about 10 hours from 10% to about 90%, which is great. 10 hours compared to almost 48, night and day. But when I stopped, I went on a road trip. I went to Greensboro, and I needed to charge on the way back because I got the standard range F150, which is 240 miles. The extended range is like 340, something like that. And I got the extended range. I got the regular standard range. So I got 240 miles for one charge at 100%. And I needed to charge on the way back because I didn't want to risk it. I had my family. I'd have probably risked it by myself. And I stopped off at an EV Go, which is like equivalent to the gas station. And I plugged up, and it was a level 3, and it was saying that I should be able to get 350 kilowatts. I don't know. I guess it's like an hour, 350 kilowatts total. I don't really know how it works. I'm still learning. As I said, I'm just like you. I've only had this 3 weeks. I'm a die-hard petrol, diesel, muscle car guy. This is all new for me, but I love the experiment. And I plugged it up into my F-150, and for some reason, we're only able to get about 65 to 68 kilowatts at a DC level 3 charger. Now, we should be somewhere close to 100, 100 plus, since it's a supercharger, but apparently Ford has limited us to 68 kilowatts, and I have no reason why. Maybe it has something to do with the battery. Maybe it has something to do with longevity of the vehicle. Maybe they just decided to start cutting down on costs and like started taking things off because EVs aren't selling in general like that. But I'm not going to say that. EVs actually are selling. Year over year, EV sales are ticking up. So that's very not honest to me saying that. EVs are selling. They're just not selling like regular ICE motors. So there you go. So yeah, I stopped at an EV Go, and then it took me 19 minutes to give this thing 40. I added 40 extra miles to my range, which was about 10% to my battery. That is great for me because it gave me time to send texts, send emails, and I was able to make a phone call. And by that time I did all that, I was able to get back on the road and start running again. Then when I got home, I had like 50 miles still left on my battery. So I probably could have been gone within 10 minutes, but I just wanted to be more, I wanted to be safe rather than sorry with my family in the vehicle. Okay, so with that being said, these are things that I've learned, but let's take a look at my truck. Let's look at this. There are different models that you can buy, and I chose, because this is my first purchase, I chose to go with the XLT. And I chose to go with the XLT. I didn't want a Lariat. The Flash had just sold when I got there. That would have been the other one I got. And I didn't want a Platinum because if I did not like the truck, I did not want to be stuck paying $1,000 a month for a truck that I didn't like if I bought a Platinum. So what I love about this is how you know it's an EV or a Ford Lightning is that light that runs across the front of the truck there. And obviously you have your charging port here that lets you know as well. And it lets you know the model of the truck too. So again, I got an XLT. But one cool factor about this truck is in the bed, this is a scale. You can put items in the back and it'll tell you on the inside in the console of how much weight you have in the bed of the truck. Also, you have a generator built into the bed of the truck as well as in the front of the truck also. So you see I got 53% battery, and that's 108 miles to range. So I love this. This is completely night and day from, see I got 900 miles on this thing. It's completely night and day from my F350 that I had, but I love it. Plenty of room in the back for the kids. Granted, again, it don't have all the bells and whistles on it that all the top end vehicles have, but at the same time I have a bed to put items in, and I also have a front trunk to store extras in. You see my gym bag is here, and then you also have an extra storage compartment under there as well. So I'll eventually do another video doing a walkthrough of my truck. Also, you got a generator right there. That's another generator in the front. So for me and my family, we go camping. We do an annual camping trip, and so I'm excited to use this thing. out camping to see how it goes. So again, the next video will be showing you guys a truck, but I just thought that you guys will be very interested to hear what it's like owning an EV. And if you've never owned one, I've never owned one. I still have my race car in there. I'm still gonna pull my race car with it. This thing has a towing capacity with the regular standard battery of 5,500, and the extended range battery is about 7,700. 5,500 is all I would need for that car there. Plenty. I don't know what the battery will look like, but when I tow the car, obviously I'm gonna do a video when I tow it to the track and when I tow it back home. That car is my monster drag race car. It is that Honda with the laptop in it. Yes, do not pull up with against the Honda with a laptop to race it. That's very common, makes sense. That is that car in there. So this is why I traded my F350 in for EV F150 Lightning. And I don't know, so far I love it. Like, so far I love it. I'm in a honeymoon phase right now, and we'll see what happens after about 90 days inside of it. Again, I'm only in week 3 coming up. I've only made one lease payment, and you make that very first payment once you purchase your vehicle. So my second payment is coming up next week. So it's still literally brand new. But we'll see exactly how I feel about it after 90 days have gone by and after I've had a couple of highway trips under my belt. But if I take a long trip, we will hop in our Jeep. We have a 24 Jeep, 2024 that we just bought this year. We will hop in that Jeep and we will take that on our road trips. But right now, I'm enjoying my Ford Lightning. I love to get up and go, 3.8, 0 to 60. It's all-wheel drive all time. And then 4-wheel drive with the push of the off-road button. I love that as well. Got a sport mode, got a normal mode. And it's fun to drive. We got a lot of bells and whistles on it. I do wish that Ford will update their technology and allow you to stream videos on the dash as you're charging. I don't have that ability yet. I think that the Lariat and Platinum do, but that XLT does not have the ability to do that, which it should because it has all the capabilities of those. But I guess that's the upsell. That's what comes with, you know, buying their higher end trucks, whatever. But yeah, guys, so this is why I have a Ford Lightning. This is how I acquired my Ford Lightning. And again, financially, it just made sense for me at this time in my life to do that, because in 3 years, when I walk away from this thing and I have no negative equity, the sky's literally the limit on whatever I want to buy, from ICE motor to EV. Who knows where I will be at that point in life, and who knows what I will want to purchase at that point in life. Right now, this is a 3-year experiment. So if you are interested to see what it is like for someone who has never owned an EV, and that hears the government say that you need to buy one, to now buying one, not because of the government, but because you're very interested on why the government is trying to force this thing on you. If you're very interested on what it's like to own an EV, this is going to be the page for you for the next 3 years, as well as other content sprinkled in. Yes, I just went to SEMA recently, and yes, I do have a couple of videos that have dropped, and there will be more trickling from SEMA. So I do a little bit of everything. So if you are new to this page, definitely it's going to be EV heavy here for a little bit, for about 3 years. And you can go back to my old content and see what I used to do. But let's see what it's really like. I'm going to bring you guys in my honest opinion on what it's like to drive an EV. If I hate this thing after like the next month or two, I will be honest and let you guys know that. No matter who's watching, I don't care. I'm going to be honest and let you guys know that EV don't make sense. Or if it does make sense, I'll let you know. But from right now, all I can say is that they can coexist. And there's a place in your garage for EVs where it makes sense, especially commuting, 100-mile round trips. EVs make sense where you have no fuel expense. So guys, until next video, I'll let you know, my opinion on what I feel about this vehicle. But if you want to keep up with it, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and ask me any questions you want, give me any opinions, hate as much as you want, I don't care. This page is for you, freedom of speech. And if I don't like you, I'll just block you. Simple as that. All right, your boy Preston is out. Thank you guys for coming to watch. Preston from Autonatics. Until next time, peace.